Here, GST is an indirect tax, as you know, which has replaced many indirect taxes in India, all the things we have discussed. See here, especially in relating to rates of GST. The rates of GST can be classified on the basis of goods and services. See here, goods and services are divided into 5 different taxes slabs for collection of tax. See the major important rates are in GST like 0%, 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. These rates we have discussed in the last classes. See, there is a special rate of 0.25 on rough precious stones and semi-precious stones and 3% on gold. Dear students, please keep all the things in your mind while solving the problem or while handling the problem or case studies under GST. You have to keep all the GST rates in your mind, because the goods and services which can be categorized, and at the time of selling, being a businessman, being a tax student, you supposed to know which type of tax, which rate of tax is applicable. Therefore, goods and services, both the things have different rates of taxes. Let us move on the different rates relating to the goods. As you know, GST at 0%. I was telling 0% goods is nothing but highly okay. Okay, 0% goods means here what we are seeing on the screen. GST at 0% means which goods is highly consumable from the public. That goods comes under 0%. Why, you know? Because it should not be more burden to the needy people. Therefore, the GST at 0% we have in India. See what you are seeing on the screen, that is milk, salt, curd, fresh vegetables, lassi, egg. See here, unpacked food grains, newspaper, bread, raw silk. These are the important goods which come under 0% tax rate. See, these are all the very much essential product for daily consumption. Therefore, these products are come under 0% GST rates. Now, GST at 0.25%. It is very much especially relating to the goods. 0.25% doesn't appear in service. It is only appear on goods like diamond and precious stones. It is also called as unworked stones. Unworked stones come under 0.25% GST rates. Then GST at 3%, it is relating to gold, silver, and pearls. These are the precious metals and valuables, especially in relating to GST, we can see the rate at 3%. Now, let us move on the 5%, GST at 5%, GST rate at 5%, which are all the goods come under at the rate of 5%. See here, spices, metal, fertilizers, then sugar, tea, edible oil, cashew nuts, jari, footwear. Very important thing here, footwear which less than rupees 500 comes under 5% GST. These are all the products come under 5% rate of GST. At the next, GST at 12% in relating to the goods. Yes, it is ghee, computer, mobiles, fruit juice, cheese, almond recently it has been moved to the 18%. Jam, these are the goods. Some of examples come under 12% GST rate. Then at the rate of 12%, you can also see the kitchenware, diabetic foods, butter, handbag, or we can call it as shopping bag, and carpets. These are the some examples which comes under a 12% GST rate. Now let us move on the next. GST at 18% in connection with goods. Here, toothpaste, soaps, ice cream, okay, air oils, packed air oils. Then I think you have packed food items like here we have charcoal and iron content related food items also comes under 18% GST rate. And some chocolates, chewing gum, LPG stove, watches comes under 18% GST rate. Let us move on the next. GST at 28%. This, see, 0% GST applies highly consumable goods. Daily consumption, these goods to be needed. That goods comes under 0% GST rate. The next one is 5%. 5%, which means very less tax rate applicable for some products, and 12% for some category of goods, and 18% of some category of goods. Here in India, majority of the goods, the major portion of goods items comes under 18% GST rate. Now, GST at 28% goods. Here we have high rate of GST here. 28% is the highest rate, comes under GST. Here, pan, washing machine, refrigerator, AC, electronic items. These are the things comes under 28%. Okay. These are all the products. And cars, computers, projectors, fuel pump, motorcycle, video games, video camera, cigarettes, paints. These are the sum of few products which are the examples for GST at 28% goods. Next, let us move on the services. In the service category also, we have 0%. See here, service by the Reserve Bank of India. It is that service comes under 0%. Loading, unloading, packing and storage. These are the few services comes under 0%. Then warehousing of rice, Atal Pension Yojana, pension scheme of state government, hotels and lodges will tariff below 1,000. All services come under 0% GST rate. Then let us move on the service at 5% GST rate. Transport of passengers by rail in first class or air conditioning or air in economic classes. These are the some examples, services at 5%. Then services at 12%, transport of passenger by air in other than economic class. In air transportation, we have two types. One is economic class and another one is business class. Business class usually have a special facility that comes under 12% GST rate. Service provided by foreman of chit fund in relation to chit. Whatever the finance activities come under the chit finance, that also comes under 12% GST. Then hotels, room tariff from rupees above 1,000 to 7,500. That service comes under 12% GST rate. Then service at 18%. These are some examples. Supply of foods, drinks in restaurant, having license to serve liquor and outdoor catering. These services come under 18% GST rate. And hotels, that is especially lodging, room tariff more than rupees 7,500, then the 18% GST rate applicable. Then of course we have 28% rate of GST for service also. Services provided by race club by way of totalizer or a license to bookmaker in such club, and gambling, race club betting, these are all the few services comes under 28% of GST. See here, we have some of special schedule 1, 2 and 3 to the Central GST Act. See, to be treated as supplies with the consideration. Permanent transfer or disposal of business assets in which ICT had been evaded. Then supply between related person parties in furtherance of business. Say gift up to rupees 50,000 by employer to employee excluded. It is excluded from the GST. Then supply of goods by to principal or to by agent, where agent undertakes to supply or receive goods on behalf of the principal. Okay, it is also comes under GST regime. The import of service from related person or own establishment outside India for business, it is also comes under the GST regime. Okay, these are the some